The following is a Candlepin Stars and Strikes rebroadcast featuring some of our most memorable programs.
WNDS Sports and Tri-State Megabucks present Candlepin Stars and Strikes.
Oh, look at this. Look at this! He got it! Ready for a spin!
Candlepin Stars and Strikes is sponsored in part by Washington Toyota Dodge Nissan. Looks good.
Looks good! That's good to go! It's a
Candlepin Stars and Strikes is produced in conjunction with the New Hampshire Candlepin Bowling Association. And now your hosts, Doug Brown and Dan Murphy.
Hi, everybody, and welcome once again to another edition of Candlepin Stars and Strikes here at Park Place Lanes in Windham. So glad you could join us. Doug Brown along with Dan Murphy. This is week 2 of our annual mixed doubles tournament. And last week, if you missed it, boy, a great start by Kevin Davis and Glennis Mangano.
Yes, 4-19 was that start. And that was a great match, and they got another tough opponent this week, and I wouldn't be a bit surprised if we had a couple 400s.
Now, you started this last week, and you're sticking to your story, huh?
I really am. I think the talent's there. Whether they bring their best game with them, well, it's up to them.
All right, we'll find out. Let's meet our two teams. First of all, our defending champions from Pennacook, New Hampshire, Kevin Davis, and his partner from Billerica, Massachusetts, Glennis Mangano.
Okay, Kevin comes in averaging 123, roll-off score 686, and Glennis is averaging 117 and a roll-off score of 572.
And as you mentioned, Dan, that big 419 with 18 marks last week to knock off Dave Cromie and Jan Sickenberger. So today, Kevin and Glennis go for their second straight win. They will face a very talented third-seeded team from Bow, New Hampshire, Dan Brodeur, and from Lynn, Massachusetts, Janet Poch.
Okay, Dan comes in averaging 123. His roll-off score is 692. And Janet's averaging 124. Her roll-off score was 575.
And, of course, both Janet and Dan have been here on many previous occasions. This should be a terrific match. We have $90 in our bonus ball contest at the end of the hour. Also, bonus money available for the two teams as well. We'll get into that as we start the match. And we'll do that right after we do these messages. Don't go away. All right, just to refresh your memory, or in case you weren't with us last week, here are the 5 teams that are with us here on Stars and Strikes in our mixed doubles tournament. Last week, Kevin Davis and Glennis Mangano knocking off Dave Cromie and Jan Sickenberger. Today, they face Dan Brodeur and Janet Poch. The winners of this match will come back next week to face our number 2-seeded team, Paul St. Pierre and Deb DeRocher. And the winners of that semifinal match will then move into the finals against our top-seeded team of Mike Morgan and Nancy Hunt, and they have that 13-33, the biggest score in the roll-off. Of course, Mike Morgan, the only men's bowler to roll a 700 in the men's roll-off. Nancy Hunt, the only ladies bowler to go over 600 in the women's roll-off. So, deservedly in that number 1 spot, but that's still a couple of weeks away. Right now, Glennis Mangano and her partner Kevin Davis going for their second straight win. The team of Davis and Mangano made several terrific shots last week. In their 18 spares, they had 18 marks, 13 spares and 5 strikes.
Usually any time you go over half the box's marks, you're over that 400. They were a fantastic 419. In fact, this is the spare she started with last week in the first box. And she didn't forget how to make it. Spare in the second. There you see the 2, 4, and 5 pins, the triangle.
Actually, right on the nose, full on the 2-pin. The wood helped in the back. Janet Poch will lead off for the team of Poch and Brodeur.
Janet will shoot at the 3 and the 7. A couple pieces of wood next to the 3.
No. Janet was one member of the mixed doubles winning team a year ago. She teamed with Chris Sargent, and they rolled a 377 to win the tournament against Joe Ashline and Carol Downey. Janet, of course, an accomplished candlepin bowler with many titles to her credit.
Moves over to lane 31, right in the 1-2 pocket. This time she'll clear out the 7 and shoot at the 3 and the 6.
And some people might have been taken aback during the opening of our show, Dan. Yes, Janet is a native of New Hampshire, but she's moved down to Lynn, Massachusetts, where she makes her home now. And she also spares in the second.
Lynn, Mass, one of the bowling capitals of the world.
That's exactly what I said to her when I found out. Kevin Davis working on the mark left by his partner, and the fill will be 7.
Ooh.
Too fine.
Yes, a little right of the head pin, caught just enough of the head pin to clear out the 4, but wasn't able to carry the 7.
And the 10. By the way, Kevin Davis from Pembroke, New Hampshire, not Pennacook, as I said earlier. I knew it began with a P.
Oh, what a break
backdoor
there.
strike. Kevin must be living right up there in Pembroke.
He misses the head pin, leaves the 1 and the 2, and it looks like, okay, gets a break on 4 and 7. You think that was the end, but then Wood hits the 2 pin from behind and carries the head pin for the strike.
Oh, Dan Brodeur answers right back with a strike on spare, which was left by Janet Poch.
Axel actually stumbled a little bit on the approach that time too, but he was right in the 1-3 pocket and trips the 4 pin for the strike.
That time the ball skipped a little bit on him and it went to the left of the head pin.
One, 3, 6, and 10. The 4 horsemen to the right for bonus money.
Oh, right there. 20 more for the team of Brodeur and Poch, and $25 in bonus money as well from our friends at Rockingham Toyota Dodge Nissan for 3 consecutive marks. Each additional consecutive will be another $25, $250 for a team with 3 consecutive strikes, and that was almost a double right there as Glennis Mangano was working on a strike.
She just crushed 9 pins. Nothing touched the 6 pin. This for a spare on strike. Got to hurry.
No.
Lofted that one a little further out in the lane, and it didn't have time to break back onto the 6 pin.
The bonus money provided to the bowlers from Rockingham Toyota Dodge Nissan. Come to Salem and save. Emmett Horgan and the gang located right on Route 97, Main Street in Salem, New Hampshire. Longtime supporters of Candlepin bowling here on the Winds of New England. Glennis Mangano, again, as we mentioned last week, getting a great mix on her first ball usually.
Got the 2, 7, and 8. Some help in between. Ooh.
Went a little probably to the left of where she wanted to go.
All right, she wanted to be on that 2 pin a little more.
And that's a 10. 75 through 6, which actually is a pin ahead of where they were through 6 last week, but this week it may not be enough. 3 marks in a row with Brodeur and Poch. Janet trying to make it 4, working on a spare, and she'll have a shot at another one.
She'll shoot at the 3, 5, and 6. This would may cost her if she's not careful on this one.
No.
Oh, well, she didn't give herself a chance. She missed the object pin being the 3.
Looked like maybe she was just trying to stay away from that side and didn't quite get enough to get up to the 3 pin.
77, great start though. 77 through 5 boxes of the first game.
Even though Janet Poch is living in Lynn now, she still does a lot of her bowling here at Park Place Lanes. Janet's high single, a 182. Trying to convert the half Worcester. Inside. Great effort. And the 10. Made that kind of a routine 10 after the half Worcester. $90 in our bonus ball contest at the end of the hour. If you haven't got your postcards in to us, we'll tell you how to do that in a little bit. Get a pen and paper handy. We'll give you the contest address shortly.
Kevin might have wanted that one to stay up. That 3-pin toppled over, and he's got a nasty piece of wood now in front of the 6 and 10.
Oh, he got
nothing nasty about it. Great shot. Had to be almost on the tip of that piece of wood. Actually, he was right on it, and the ball carried through for the 8-pin.
Short on the fill, coming up off the 3-pin and takes 6.
1, 2. He's got the 8-pin and the 6-pin. Kevin throws the ball hard. It looks like this week he's throwing it even harder, though. It's the 1, 2 left. He'll clear those out. 99. Dan Brodeur's back in the 1-3 pocket, and he'll shoot at the 2, 4, and 5. Triangle. Right on the 2-pin. Drove it right straight through the 4 and the 5.
And the 9. Right now a 7-pin lead for Brodeur and Poch. Dan Brodeur from Bow, New Hampshire. He and his wife Marlene have both been on the program. Dan works as an industrial electrician for Concord Litho Company. And I believe he does some of his bowling at a place called Boutwell's Bowling Center. I'm not sure about
Absolutely. Great place to bowl.
Yep.
Actually, he's a teammate of mine. Actually, he carried us last week bowling 468.
Wow. Nine. So they lose another pin and count. The lead is down to 6.
A little extra voice in the background was not Dan's wife screaming because he missed that spare. One of our younger people in the audience.
Yes, we have a lot of young folks in the audience today. An error in my math earlier, by the way. After 6 boxes, Kevin Davis and Glennis Mangano were at 73, so they were actually a pin below what they were last week. Oh, how about this? No.
Just 6 pins separating the two teams at this point. Nice 10. It's number 109 in a box to come in the game number 1.
Oh, right in the pocket. Big strike.
We have a little advantage here on lane 31 because almost directly behind the bowler, and you just saw that ball breaking into the 1-3 pocket. So they'll now have another real decent opening string. 119 plus 2 balls.
Looking for the spare on strike. And a score that would match their first game from a week ago. And that's exactly what she's got. 20 in the 10th, a 129, the same opening score they had last week. And they've forced Janet Poch to mark in order to maintain the lead here. Janet and Dan already have $25 in bonus money, but they haven't had a mark since then. They've gone 4 opens in a row.
Janet gets a break with a 4-pin going down. 3, 6, and 10. Piece of wood that should sweep from left to right.
Yes.
Converts that for spare in the 9th. 115 plus a bonus. Thought she may be almost too high, but no problem there for Janet.
And a big strike on spare. Janet Poch responds. Spare strike, and she's got a shot at bonus money again.
Didn't see her body English there, but as that ball got 3/4 of the way down the lane, her body English told me that his ball was going to be in the pocket. She knew it. 135.
Chance for bonus money, too, if she can convert this triangle.
They've already picked up $25 in bonus money in the second, third, and fourth frames with spare, strike, spare. But not this time.
An 8, a 143 opening game. Well, you talked about matching 400s. You may be right on target there, at least so far, sir. 2 good scores here in the opener. 143 for Brodeur and Poch, 129 for Davis and Mangano, and we're back with more in a minute. Dan Brodeur. Dan Brodeur looking for the spare to start game 2. Can't convert.
Great opening game, though. 143. And Dan will settle for 9.
5 marks for both teams in the first game. 3 spares and 2 strikes each. Brodeur and Poch with some bonus money in that first game. Oh, a very funny hit there by Dan Brodeur.
Real light. 6, 7, 10.
That ball went through. He only took out 2 pins. And then he got a little mix and at least got something to work with here. Oh, no. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh.
Ball didn't stay on the plate long enough.
Ace of Wood just missed a 7, and then the ball almost took it out for the spare.
Well, I couldn't pin you down on a prediction to the Super Bowl last week. You want to make a prediction on the Pro Bowl today? Kevin Davis. Oh, looked like a strike.
And Wood turns around nicely for him. Rolls back against the 4. Everything Kevin wanted it to do.
Spare. Kevin Davis is the only member of this foursome, Dan, to have a 200 game. His high single is 201.
Is that for one game?
One game.
In that select group.
Well, we've talked about this before. You've not had a 200
No,
game, is that
I
right?
haven't. No. One of these days I'm going to keep my own score. I'm going to get one.
Count everything double.
Yeah. I'll count the ones I should have had.
Kevin, with that 201 and a high triple of 463, takes a 9 here, and they've shaved 5 pins off the lead. It's down to 9.
Actually, I had a 207 once. And this is a true story. And this is before the computerized scoring. It was all done on bowling sheets, and I was just thrilled. I had threw 11 marks in a row, and I was in college, up in Holderness, at the lanes up there. And I got back to my dormitory after bowling in the league, 207, and the owner of the lane called me and says, they made a mistake adding. It was 197.
Oh, no.
Yeah. That's when I decided math wasn't my major either.
And that's when you invented computerized scoring, right?
Yes, that's right. Four horsemen right, plus the 5 and the 8.
Nope.
And it's a 9, 37 through 4. push to right. I believe that's the first one we've seen last week or this week.
All right, now get 3. Get a base 3. Come on. Kick it over there for the 10.
I missed one.
Janet Poch had one back in the first game. That was a long time ago, though, so you don't remember it.
Well, I know Janet wants to forget about it.
It was way back in college, I believe.
Yeah. Okay, Mr. Brown.
Look out
Everything
on the
but the
6 pin.
This time the wood doesn't turn all the way around for Glennis. Gonna have a clear shot at the 6 pin.
And the spare. We will break right here. That spare in the 4th gives Kevin Davis and Glennis Mangano an opportunity to tie up this match. When we return here on Candlepin Stars and Strikes. Don't go away. Dan Brodeur. Just about at the halfway point of this match. Good one going. Just about dead even at this point.
Talking at the break in my college days, yes, Doug, there's still lanes there, and there was electricity when I was up there, too, so come on. Oh, nice shot.
Oh, yes. Great spare for Dan Brodeur. First of the game for the team.
I was going to say, if we want those 2 400s, they can't go too many boxes without marks up there. And see the first one for Brodeur and Poch this game.
No, my only question was, were those lanes that you were talking about still open?
Yes.
Because unfortunately, I think we've discussed this before, the lanes that I grew up in are offices now. It's an office building and a condo, I believe.
Wow.
Oh,
another great one.
Two in a row. Two great shots by Dan Brodeur for spares. And the double high five from his partner.
A little help on that 7 pin, but very nicely done, too. As Doug said, great shots in a row for 2 marks. Kevin Davis will now fill a spare.
He puts a strike on it, it ties the match, but only 5.
He's got the 2, 5, 6, 7, 10. Piece of wood in between the 2 and the 5, which should help. It did, but not enough.
Seemed like more than that should happen, didn't it? Oh, nice 10. On the 7-10 for Kevin.
See, the pin takes both pins. Takes the 7 and then across for the 10.
Let's see, what you got to be thinking in that circumstance is, why can't I have that leave when it's for a spare? That wood set up that way, 7-10. Kevin goes left to the head pin, this time on lane 31. Just missing that time, and he got everything but the object. And the 10. So 2 10s, but up against the 2 spares by Dan Brodeur. This will lengthen the lead for Brodeur and Poch, and Janet Poch an opportunity to add some bonus money as well. Working on 2 spares in a row. Not the ball she wanted.
No, left the ball out to the right. Actually released that ball a little too soon. And that's usually what happens when you leave it to the right. And she got that one out of the lane a little better, and she's on the head pin, but leaves the 4-7. So the mark streak will end at 2.
Not only that, but even though they got the 2 marks, the fills were just 5 and 4, so they really didn't get the full benefit.
Well, this match is still very, very close.
And Janet, overcorrecting, goes left this time.
1, 3, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 1, 3, 8, 9, 10.
Wow.
Now that's a powerful ball. She's throwing pins all over the place. She threw one from 31 all the way into the right-hand channel of 32.
It's a 9-box. Unfortunately, did not convert the spare, though. I'll have to do a little house cleaning on lane 32 before Glennis Mangano continues. She's got an opportunity now with the 2 opens to again cut into the lead, which is right where it was at the end of 1. 14 pins in favor of Brodeur and Poch.
Oh, and through the middle, spread eagle.
Okay, get aside. Get aside. All right, get ready. All right.
8-box for Glennis.
Put one here. Put one here for me to work on. Get out. Come on, one turn.
And that wood should roll off, giving Glennis an opportunity at the 1-2. For the spare? No.
Well, she's on the object, but just drove the head pin straight back. This one to stay at 14.
That's where it is. 2 boxes to go here in the second. See, 7 marks for the team. They've got $25 in bonus money. Dan Brodeur just catching the head pin, and now he's got the 9 and the 10 with some interesting wood.
He's got his team's only 2 marks this game, and they were great shots. He's going to have to pull another one out of the hat.
Yes.
Uses the wood effectively on a 9 and 10. Do some house cleaning on 31 and then proceed to fill that spare. 94 through 9 plus this.
Might have caught a bad break there. It appeared a piece of wood was coming over to help on the triangle, but it was blocked.
You're exactly right. Probably would have got a couple more anyways, maybe even the strike. Oh,
No.
Too heavy on the 3-pin, left the 5.
And that's a 10, 111. And a 2-game total of 254 for Dan Brodeur and Janet Poch. Kevin Davis. Lane 32. All of them! Home run.
What's that?
You don't get to talk about this baseball stuff anymore, so I figured I'd use it now.
That's when they knock all the pins down. Everything but the 8. Got a little roadblock out in front. Oh, he's going to have to come off the... Oh,
Yes.
Was able to drive it right straight through.
If Kevin is able to put a strike on this spare, he will not only win some bonus money for the team, but he will also cut the lead to 1 in the match. And he almost did it. A 7-fill, 121 for Davis and Mangano. 250 is the total after 2. 4 pins, the difference with 1 game to go. We're back in a minute. Both teams have elected to change the order here for Game 3, so the guys will get the extra 2 boxes. Kevin Davis to lead it off with a big strike. Fourth strike of the day for the team. How about another? Almost.
Light hit on this one, leaves the 3-pin.
Spare on strike, putting the pressure on immediately.
Dan just missing the headpin to the right, and when that happens, you usually leave that 4 horseman plus that triangle in the corner. Makes the adjustment almost the spare.
$9. That gives Davis and Mangano the lead in the match for the first time today. Just no sound at all when Dan Brodeur put that ball down.
Nice and smooth. And again, a triangle we've seen several times, a 2-4-5. And not a piece of wood on the plate or in the channels anywhere to be seen.
Oh, yeah. Spare in the second. Well, I'll tell you, Dan, I don't know if this is going to be matching 400s, but it looks like it's going to be close right down to the finish. I can tell you that.
Lead is now swung the other side.
Glennis Mangano trying for bonus money and almost got a strike on the spare.
Should be shooting at the 7-pin for that bonus money. It's 9 fill on the spare. Great start. Gotta hurry. No, not gonna happen.
Use the wood this time, Glennis. Right over there.
And the 10.
49 through 3.
Through the center. There's wood, but I don't know.
Well, if it stays there, I'd give it a shot.
Yeah.
Especially if her ball breaks from right to left. To be breaking towards those 3 pins. And she's going to try it. No, not quite deep enough to carry the 2 or the 7.
The winners of this match move into the semifinals next week against Paul St. Pierre and Deb DeRocher. So 2 open frames there for Glennis Mangano and an opportunity for Janet Poch as she steps up here to retake the lead. She's working on a mark left by Dan Brodeur. Oh, big fill, strike!
I was going to say she got shut out of marks that second game, but she's making up for it now with a strike on spare.
Third strike for the team, chance for bonus money now.
Slides the 8-pin into the 7 for the strike. This time just missing, but the 1, 2, and 10 pins left. Let's see where this wood's going to settle down.
No. Janet and Dan have retaken the lead, though, with that strike. Still going to be very, very close down the stretch, it appears. A 10 for Janet Poch, 58 for each team through 4 here in the third, so the lead is still 4 for Dan Brodeur and Janet Poch with 6 boxes to go. Don't go away. It'll be Kevin Davis as we resume third game action here on Stars and Strikes. Terrific match going right now. Well, kind of an ugly leave here. The 5, 6, 7, and 10.
Don't see much. Maybe trying to cap the ball off the piece of wood in front of the 5-pin, but
and the 10.
That looked good, but it was too deep. I don't think it would have had any chance of making a 6 and 10.
Well, that time Kevin got a little extra mix. Piece of wood spinning off the wall, but he's got the 9 and 10. Now, the wood on the left could make this interesting.
Yeah, there's another piece of wood behind that front one. They'll keep it in play.
How about it? Oh, do you believe it?
Got a little too high, I think.
That wood wasn't, when it went over there, it wasn't really rolling. It was kind of sliding, and so it had no momentum when it got over there to the 10 pin. So it's 2 10 boxes for Kevin Davis, and that's an opening now for Dan Brodeur. Well, he missed the head pin, but he'll take that leave.
And the 1-3-6.
Ooh, just missing.
Well, it's the match. The 10 box, anyways, keep the lead at 4.
Does. The lead is still 4. Well, as I said, there won't be any 400s here today, but still ought to be a couple of pretty good scores, and it's still very, very close. Good mix for Dan Brodeur, and he'll have the 2 and the 5.
Here's a situation where you want to avoid that front piece of wood. However, if you go far left and catch that wood behind, you still got a chance of making it. No.
Oh, he caught
avoid
the
that front
cap.
one.
Yep, caught the cap, as you mentioned, Dan. And it's another 10, so 10 boxes all around there in the 5th and 6th. So the lead is still 4, and we move to the final 4 boxes now. Last rotation, starting with Glennis Mangano. Needs some help.
Well, it's not bad if the wood stays right there. 3, 6, 7. Got to concentrate on the 3 pin. If you get that, you've got a shot at making it. Here it is. Quite the way I expected it to go. I expected it to use the other piece of wood. Let's see what happens. 6 pins, the one that stays in play. And she's right in the pocket again. And
Well, the possibility for a sweep here.
well, it's moving now farther to the right, which probably is good in her case, because then it'll give her a chance to turn a little bit, because she's going to have trouble probably with a 4 pin. There it is.
Yep, well, you called that one. That was the only play, though, in that situation.
She'll get the 10.
So Glennis finishes up her bowling for the day, putting a markup on the board. Now Janet Poch for her final 2. Remember, her team leads by 4. Opposite a mark here in the 7th. Janet will have a spare leave. Watch out for the wood.
Ooh, it turned nicely for her on the 2, 4, and 5.
And now it's rolling back right up against the 2.
Anywhere around the red line is going to be good.
Right there is good enough for the spare in the 7th.
Matches the spare. Lead switches to the other side temporarily. That's without Janet's fill.
Oh, good looking ball there, and Janet may get them all. Let's see. Just 9. Only 9.
And this would be a crucial mark here, leaving the fill for her partner Dan Brodeur. They have the lead now by 7. Wood rolling back, making Janet wait a little bit.
Yes. Long wait for Janet, but she nailed the single. 2 big marks, clutch marks in the 7th and 8th. And that could put the lead into double figures going into the final two. Kevin Davis, big strike. Wow.
It's not over. This time picking on the 1-2 pocket. I would say you have to throw another mark, but...
Well, he's got a shot at it. Kevin Davis.
Nice little guide there, too, with the wood. Doesn't need it.
134 plus a ball. Kevin does a lot of his bowling at the Lakeside Lanes in Manchester. And he punches through the center there. The 4 fill, a 138. So that means that Dan Brodeur and Janet Poch have to come up with 135 to win.
Right now they're at a 127 clip, but Dan has to fill the spare.
If he gets a big enough fill, he will not have to mark. Let's see. That is not big enough. So Dan will need a mark here.
Well, he's got some room here. The 2, 4, and 7 with the 6-pin with a piece of wood behind. If he plays it on the right-hand side of the 2-pin, he's got a shot.
Oh, yes. Are you kidding me? Oh, man. What a shot.
Just enough to catch the wood, kick the wood forward from behind the 6-pin. Nicely done. Still, not out of the woods yet. Whoa.
Oh, that'll enough. Yep, that is enough to do it. And they're still falling. Dan Brodeur and Janet Poch win it. What a terrific match. We may have one 400, though. Dan can convert this. You weren't that far off anyway.
No.
Spare in the 10th. By the way, with the closeness of the match, we've neglected to mention that's 4 marks in a row. That's $50 in bonus money additional for Dan Brodeur and Janet Poch. So they've got $75 in bonus money as well. Piling it all on here at the end.
Needs a drop for 400. Oh, come on, Dan.
Oh, my. Just didn't throw the ball hard enough. A 149. 149, and that was good enough for a 400. As you see, 403 to 388 for Davis and Mangano. Terrific match. We'll be back to talk about it in a minute. Welcome back to Park Place Lanes here in Windham, New Hampshire. Doug Brown along with Dan Murphy. Boy, that was a terrific match. Couldn't make it 2 in a row, Kevin Davis and Glennis Mangano, but tough customers to face them. And Dan Brodeur and Janet Poch both came up with the big marks at the end when they needed it.
Well, they're all pros, and they just that pressure does not bother them that much. And well, I missed it by a few. I said 2 400s. We almost had it.
403 to 388. Let's talk to our runners up first. Let's bring up Kevin Davis and Glennis Mangano. They'll take home 4th place prize money, $100 each. They also earned some bonus money along the way. Glennis, congratulations again. And Kevin, terrific score again. We have the checks for you. And again, we had a feeling this was going to be a terrific match and a high-scoring match, and it was exactly that, right down to the final few boxes.
Yeah, I mean, we both figured, I think it was going to be a tough match, and it was.
Terrific job by you, Kevin. Those last 2 boxes, you knew you had to do something, and at least you put the pressure on.
Yeah, and then you drop a big 4. Oh, well, hit the head pin.
Well, again, it seemed that both of you, though, had it going just as you did last week. It's just that the other team outscored you this time. You lost to a terrific team, but again, congratulations.
Give us last week's score.
It doesn't work that way, but perhaps you can save it for next time. Okay. Congratulations. Thanks very much for being here. Good luck. And now Janet Poch will roll our bonus ball. We have $90 in the jackpot, looking for a match, looking to give away some cash and some brand new bowling balls here. Uh-oh. Janet let go a little. I heard Janet let go a little scream there just as she let it go. I thought you said the pressure didn't get to them. It was just a 3. And, I know, Janet, this will shock you, but it was not a match. Rita Colby from Manchester, New Hampshire. Rita's guess was 8, so we'll be sending her a consolation gift, and that means we'll be up to $100 in the jackpot next week. Slide in here close so we can get you all on, and congratulations. Boy, terrific work by both of you. You knew you had to put marks up at the end, and you got what you needed.
Yeah, I was a little lucky. I had that triangle there, and the wood rolled in front of it. I said, thank you.
Not only did it roll in front, but then it rolled back, too,
Yes,
which is nice.
Right, yeah, makes it a little easier.
And then, obviously, now, Dan, you go up for the final two, knowing that if you throw a big enough fill that you don't need a mark, but then you were able to convert it anyway. Some terrific shots.
I get older every time this happens. Janet set me up good in the 7th and 8th, and I got lucky enough to throw a couple marks.
All right, we have the semifinal match for you next week now. It'll be Paul St. Pierre and Deb DeRocher. I think that probably will be a good one, too. We'll be looking forward to that. We'll see you then.
Looking forward to it.
All right, Janet Poch and Dan Brodeur, congratulations. Thanks very much with the win, and we will now see what we have left. We have 3 teams left. And it's our top 3 teams. Dan Brodeur and Janet Poch will try to make it 2 in a row next week. Paul St. Pierre and Deb DeRocher will be the challengers. And, of course, we'll have $100 in the bonus ball contest next week, so we're going to have a lot of fun here next Sunday, I think.
A lot of fun. 2 great teams left in the race.
All right, and then don't forget, we have Candlepin Skins on Saturday at noon from the Londonderry Bowling Center. Back here next Sunday at noon at Park Place Lanes for Candlepin Stars and Strikes. Until then, for Dan Murphy and the whole crew, I'm Doug Brown. Have a great week, everybody.